Question is how much programming you need to use GUI tools. So we are going to show you Microsoft Azure Machine Learning Studio. You can go and try Microsoft Machine Learning Studio for free. It allows you 8-hour sessions. Some restrictions are there, then you sign on and it gives you a lot of free hours, a lot of experimental tools, etc. So we are just going to show you how much programming skills you need to do some basic things. This will give you an idea how to get started and how much skill you need to work with a GUI machine learning tool. Microsoft Azure being one of the most user friendly. Okay, so I'm in Machine Learning Studio Tools. You see here I have Experiments tab. I go and click New Experiment. I open a blank experiment. So when you try to create a model, basically you are doing an experiment. So you can, I'm not going into details of how to change, etc. Objective is to show you how things work. So what I do is I need data input output, so I take export. I just drag it here. So import data, I select import, so I want to select data from import, and there is a diamond data. So a diamond data is raw data I take from internet. So I'm just going to go to raw data, and the URL I know is view raw so raw data I'm showing you. This is raw data I have, so I take URL, and then what I'm doing is here it is asking me to tell me where, so I'm taking from web URL. This way you see you don't need any programming skills, and so raw data I'm able to do. I can save and I can just run this single one. So it will load raw data. And now I can just go and visualize it. So you can see, if you click, you can see all the details, what they are, what cut types are there, what color is, depth, etc. All those things you can visualize. So far you see you don't need any programming skills. Data was loaded. Okay, so next part is I'm not going to do a lot of things, so I'm simply going to do it. I've already done. You see, I'm going to split the data into two parts, one training model and one test model. Again, you don't need programming skills, but you need to understand what you are going to do. So you must understand that whenever you do any experiment, you have two sets of data. One is training data where your model learns, and one is test data. So I've just linked our import data to split data. It is creating one data set and two data sets. If you click here, you will see how much you want. So I say, okay, I want 70% for training and 30% for testing. So These parameters you need to know. Seed allows you to have same number of same set of rows in training and then in test every time you run. So we split the data. Now next one is um, we are going to, as you see, we are going to use one model. Here the thing is that we need something for predicting price. So predicting price, we are going to use regression model. So now if you see regression, you need to understand what a regression model is. There are many regression models. I am taking very simple linear regression model. And you see linear regression model is there. There are some parameters I am not going to change. I'm just going to take this linear regression model. I have a split data. Now I'm ready to train my data model. So if I train my model, so I'm going to type here train, and you will see train model is there, and train model needs two inputs. So one is model and another is data. I connected to data, it is asking me to select the value, and you will see it is asking me to launch column selector. Basically we want which column we want to predict. So column 8 is there, I believe. So let me just go and check. We imported data, so I'm just going to visualize again, and you see column 8 is price, right? So I took column 8. I said column 8 we want to predict. So and the next one is I'll try to check the score. So scoring a model requires again two inputs. So obviously one will be trained model and another will be which data I want. So I take test data, second part. So you can see here, and then finally I want to have evaluation also. So if I evaluate, so there are several evaluation model. I am taking simple evaluation model, okay, and I am putting here this, and I'm also putting here a trend. Okay, I'm sorry, I need to put here, need to put here. So that's it, I have done. I'm saving my model and I'm running. As you see, while our model is running, as you see, you do bunch of things. You are not doing programming, but you must be familiar with what are the steps. Like we have loaded data, we are splitting data into two parts, test and training. Then we are using a regression model. There are classifying models and regression models. So using regression model, then we are training our data, checking the score, and finally evaluating how well our model performed. So all these things you must be familiar with, and we have not written a single line of code. So you can understand, you can become a data scientist without even having a lot of programming skills, but you need to understand how things work. So I'm just going to show you a few things. Evaluation model, if you visualize, and you see how prediction was done, and this is error and this is frequency, how much error was done. And you see here mean absolute error was 2084, root mean square error, so relative absolute error, so coefficient of determination, so and so. You see a lot of parameters are there, and you need to understand what these mean. Similarly, if you see a score, you can again go and visualize. So if you visualize, you will see what was prediction done. Okay, see here what was the score and how things fared, and so on and so forth. You can see stats, you can visualize. Okay, so this shows you how without being a non-programmer also you will be able to work. Also shows that how to tweak the component parameters. You have a lot of things here, like in a linear regression model, you should be able to tweak the values, and so on and so forth. So this way you learned that you can work as data scientist without being a core programmer, but then programming always helps, and you need to have understanding of what you are doing with data, what are different steps of machine learning. I think that's it. Thank you very much.